There is a peculiar calm that arrives when you start watching people instead of reacting to them. You begin to see patterns not in looks or titles, but in the way minds operate. And in that quiet awareness, a difficult truth surfaces. Not all intellect carries the same depth, and not every clever face hides true wisdom. Science may define intelligence as the power to reason, adapt, and learn. But there's another kind often ignored today, the intelligence of restraint, awareness, and self-command. Ironically, these are the very traits missing in those convinced of their superiority. Let's explore the signs not to condemn others, but to cleanse ourselves of these weaknesses. Because what irritates us and others often reflects something within. 1. The urge to react rather than reflect. The shallow mind lives at the mercy of emotion driven by impulse, clouded by pride, lost in the storm of the present moment. It mistakes noise for power, believing that anger or arrogance equals strength. But as Marcus Aurelius wrote, you control your mind, not external events. Understand this, and real strength begins. Studies from Harvard and Yale reveal that emotionally reactive people fail to learn from experience because their amygdala, the brain's emotional center, overrides reason. They don't think because they never pause to. That pause, small as it seems, separates wisdom from weakness. When you react without reflection, you surrender not only your peace, but your future. The wise wait to understand before they speak. The foolish speak before they understand. True mastery lives in quiet observation. Stillness isn't submission, it's strength refined. 2. The obsession with being right even when wrong. Fragile minds hide behind pride. The weaker the intellect, the less it can bear correction. Research from the University of Michigan found that people with lower reasoning ability cling hardest to falsehoods even when truth is undeniable. They crave validation, not knowledge. Over 2,000 years ago, Epictetus warned, no man can learn what he thinks he already knows. The wise view error as a teacher. The foolish treat it as an insult. The intelligent mind welcomes correction, it sharpens like steel under pressure. The ignorant defend their mistakes as if protecting gold. But pride doesn't make us strong, it blinds us. Every refusal to learn is a silent surrender to mediocrity. 3. The addiction to distraction. A restless mind is an untrained one. Modern research shows that constant stimulation weakens our ability to think deeply, the very process that grows wisdom. Those trapped in noise, social media, gossip, and endless chatter aren't living. They're running from stillness. Seneca said, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. And that's the mark of low intelligence, scattered, unfocused, and drained. A powerful mind finds peace in solitude. It draws strength from silence and sees clarity. Where the world only sees emptiness, it understands that true growth often demands retreat. Yet the fragile mind cannot bear its own company. It must drown its thoughts in noise. Silence terrifies it, for silence exposes emptiness. We must guard our focus as fiercely as we guard our spirit. For where our focus flows, our energy follows, and where our energy settles, our character takes shape. 4. The instinct to blame others instead of the self. Shallow thinking thrives on victimhood. It is the refusal to own one's choices, the endless search for a scapegoat. But every time a person blames others, he surrenders his power. The one who accepts responsibility takes it back. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, waste no more time debating what a good man should be. Be one, the fool argues. The wise simply act. Science backs this truth. People with higher emotional intelligence tend to self-correct, while those with lower intelligence externalize their failures. We must hold the mirror to ourselves and ask, what part of this pain did I create? Accountability is not self-criticism, it is self-respect. 5. The hunger for external validation. There is a hollow ache that haunts those who rely on others to feel worthy. It is the silent epidemic of our generation, the constant need for approval, the counting of likes, the craving for recognition that whispers, you are enough. Yet beneath this craving lies one of the clearest marks of low intelligence, the inability to govern one's own sense of worth. Seneca once said, he who seeks approval from others has given away his peace. Modern psychology echoes this. Research from the University of Rochester shows that people whose self-worth depends on outside validation suffer greater anxiety, instability, and depression. Why? Because they've surrendered their inner equilibrium to strangers. A man who needs applause to feel strong is a man without roots. He rises on praise and falls on neglect. He becomes a puppet pulled by the strings of opinion. But the wise, self-mastered man stands unshaken. He doesn't need to be seen to know his value. He understands that worth isn't granted, it's lived. True approval is earned through integrity, not attention. The Stoics called this eudaimonia state of flourishing born from virtue, not validation. It means being whole within yourself even if the world misunderstands you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, if something external disturbs you, it is not the thing itself, but your judgment of it. That realization is the beginning of freedom. When we stop letting others define us, we begin to live. Opinions are like the wind passing, shifting, inconsistent. Praise fades, attention drifts, admiration dies. But the man who governs himself endures, for his worth is built not on perception, but on principle. His foundation is self-control, the ground no storm can shake. So we must learn to detach from the noise, to find stillness in solitude, to labor quietly while the world screams for attention. For it is the calm, grounded soul who carries silent power, and that power earns respect without ever demanding it.